always in this lane, there's no stopping this flame. Cause I came to the game and I changed it to play how I like, rearranged it to my own domain. Yeah, I got what it takes, made lots of mistakes, taking shots, skipping breaks, feeling lost, feeling great, popping off, singing straight, never stopped, never changed. All the squad here to play, and I've got something to say, yeah. I work hard each and every day, I get lost in the words I say. I don't push pause, no, I push play. I won't stop till I make a change. I withdraw on the things I make. I turn flaws into flawless traits. I build tall, never capping space. I won't stop till I hear him say,
welcome back, guys. We have finally made it to the end of the Never Ever Mets. Season 1, episode 10, moving out and moving on. And guess what, guys? The show has been renewed for season 2. Count them, 2 seasons. Yes. How's everybody doing? El Cid, JR, how you guys doing today?
Doing great. A little bit warm out here in Georgia, but doing well.
Good. Yes. Same here. We've got the heat finally dropped down to a reasonable 85 degrees today. I'm sorry. Oh, it's dropped down even further. We're into 70s now. 70s. Yes. I love it. JR, what's it doing over there in London? Struggle Streams, JR.
Yeah, hello. Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry about that. This mic, I'm telling you, it's Struggle Stream for a reason. Yeah, weather's good, nice and hot. Vest, t-shirts, shorts, sun out all day, and tomorrow is gonna be insanely hot.
Oh, really? Okay. Like really hot, huh? Like what we've been having. Oh, wow.
Yeah, tomorrow is predicted to be in your money about 79, 80.
Oh, that you now starting.
Mm-hmm.
You're now starting. We are we don't cool down to 75 till 8 a.m. tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Listen to him, people. Anybody else? Let us know where you guys are from. Let us know where you're watching us from, what city, what state, what country, and how's the weather doing there? And are you excited that we finally made it to the end of the Never Mets? We persevered. We hung in there. We some of us were triggered. Some of us had memories of past almost assaults and all kinds of things went on. This show took us through a lot. I felt like it was all like Ready to Love and Love and Hip Hop Atlanta all mushed into one. I don't know. What did you guys think? What did you think of this week's final finale? Let's start with El Cid.
I liked it. I liked the 4-month update. I did like, even though they didn't have a reunion, they certainly did do an update. Since they've been holding on to all of this for 2 years, they could have done a 1 year and even a 2-year update, as far as I'm concerned.
Mm-hmm. They could have. Yeah, they could have when they knew they were going to air, because I don't blame any show. I think it's all a process. I don't pretend to know the whole Hollywood process, but I know they got to sell these shows to whatever network. So they had to find a home for it. But yeah, a more recent, once they found out they had own network, it would have been nice to contact these people and find out what they were doing. But who knows if some of them would have reached back out and responded, because you have a lot of animosity a lot of times when these shows are over with. We've seen that with Ready to Love, right?
Definitely.
I talked to some of the people, we started out talking over on Instagram, and they were willing to come over and do interviews. And by the time the season is over, like, oh no, we're not going to come over and sit down with you and JR. Oh, hell no. In fact, I'm getting off of social media altogether. So it can be difficult to gather people together to get a update. But you're right. I did think that Taronda did an excellent job at kind of tying many of the loose ends. What about you, JR? What did you think of this week's episode?
It was a long time coming. Boy, I felt like it was an interesting episode nonetheless. Getting the updates was very important because you want to see after this lengthy process for us, but for them only 3 weeks. But you want to see how it panned out for the couples after the experiment or their dating situation, how it culminated, right?
Mhm.
Many surprises, which we're gonna delve into right now.
Oh yes, yes we are. We are about to delve into many of the situations and how they ended up, and were we right or were we wrong? What actually really did happen? Just give me 1 second, guys, and we will get into all of that.
Hmm.
Um, anyone planning to watch this new series is coming? I think it's out of Texas. Ari, are you going to be watching the new series on Friday nights? What about you, Elsid?
I'm not planning to. I've got my feet in the water at Love Is Blind Brazil, and that is certainly exciting. So I don't plan to, but I'll probably give it a little wink. Probably watch the first episode and see.
Oh, okay, okay, all right, that makes sense. Excuse me, 1 second. I'm sorry, this went off. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Oh, yeah. That's right. You did say Love Is Blind Brazil. That's right. And you and Ari going to be covering that?
I have posted recaps for episodes 1 through 4 on my channel, LCID 932.
All
And
right.
Ari and I did a live last night
Mhm.
because I wheeled her in, and she's hooked on it, and she was like, "We need to talk now." So
Uh-oh. Is that good? Okay.
oh yeah,
Okay. I'm
we did a live last night.
watch it. You're gonna make me have to watch that now too. Oh my goodness. All right. All right. Elsie, be sure you drop your name of your channel with the number and everything in the chat, since I don't have a moderator right now. So if you could drop that in the chat so everybody
Okay.
could go over and support her, sign up. You know the drill, guys. Like a video, like this video, go over like her video, and then subscribe to the channel and then check out what she's doing over there. We were just talking in the green room before we went live, and I was recommending to El Cid to definitely start putting shorts on her channel. So El Cid, if you're doing this show right now, for example, you could be dropping little shorts about the show, right? And then letting people know, if, for example, if you have a particular day you go live with Ari, let them know what that day is. Do a short about it. Both of you guys on your separate channels and combine.
Oh, awesome! I'll definitely take that and do that. Definitely, there are lots of little gems and lots of shorts that I could do. Love Is Blind Brazil is everything. All I gotta say, the ladies'
Oh,
lounge, the men's lounge, it is everything.
oh, okay, okay. And how many? I mean, like, it starts off. Is it the same number? Does it start off with the same number of contestants as our Love Is Blind and here in the U.S.?
Yes, it does start off with the same number. We're down to already 5 couples. It happens a lot faster. So the first episodes, you're already at the honeymoon. You already have the couples. They've already
What?
met
What?
each other, and now they're heading back to the real world.
Oh my gosh, that's quick, quick, quick.
Oh yeah,
Oh,
it's really good.
okay, okay. Well, there you have it, guys. There you have it. Another show to watch this summer. Love Is Blind Brazil on Netflix. Hey, Miss Wilson, Ari, uh, Colton. I think I saw Colton. Maybe not. Okay. Oh, Reza. That was Reza. Hey, Reza. Yeah, so there you go, guys. So let's go ahead and let me get started here. Give me 1 second. You guys want to chatter a little bit? JR, you owe us some chatter. So chatter just for a second. I've got one little administrative thing I have to do.
Hmm. Okay. Wait,
JR?
can you hear me first? Am I still struggle streaming? Can you hear me?
Yeah, I
Yes,
can
yes,
hear you.
Oh, cool. All right.
yes.
Well, yeah, I Love Is Blind Brazil. I think the concept may translate over there differently, different culture, different country.
Yes, it
Uh,
does.
but I'm going to be taking a rest because, like I said, this particular show here, I don't know, it just seemed to drag on. It seemed to wear me down. So I need to recuperate fully before and that season 2. Let's see what improvements they make.
Well, I'll let you rest, JR, if definitely do Love is Blind UK.
Wait,
It doesn't
Brazil or
start till
UK?
August.
Well, the Brazil one started, and that's the one I would have chosen. So, out of the 2, but I don't know. Like I said, I'll have to see how I feel when I take my hiatus. And
well, there's lots more to choose from. There'll be a Love is Blind Mexico. There'll be a Love is Blind Habibi for the United Emirates area.
Yeah, Habibi is blind. Okay.
Oh wow, that's interesting. What is the Love is Blind Habibi? What does that signify? I'm not following.
It's just Habibi just means dear or sweetheart in the language in that region. So it will just be like, I don't know if it's Dubai or where in the Emirates area they're filming, but there's still a Love is Blind Mexico. There's Love is Blind is franchising itself out.
Okay. I see. I get it now. Netflix is just they're just becoming like a 90-day fiance. They just franchising it all over like McDonald's, huh?
I'm loving it because it helps me see how other cultures are different because they both get rings. So, and in their culture, a ring on the right hand, on the finger closest to your little finger, signifies you're in a committed relationship. It may not mean engaged to be married, but it means that you are in a committed relationship.
Okay. I like that. I like to slide a ring on the guy's finger and say, yeah, now, yeah, go out in the world. I want every woman to see that. Yeah, they know who you belong to. Yes, you're spoken for. I love it.
So one of the men decided to wear the ring on his chain around his neck.
Okay, he's skirting his duty.
Yeah. So that's what I'm taking my time to try and start my lives and start my recap. So Love is Blind Brazil.
Yes, exactly. That's it. And then they're gonna have a good reunion. They're gonna have a great reunion. Baby doll, I don't know. I think right now, I'm not so sure. I was just talking behind the scenes with these lovely people here because they would be the people that I would ask to support me in that. But I don't know. That's a very good question. I'll keep you posted. You can check my community tab because I don't know. Yeah, I'm not really sure, but I appreciate seeing you here, and we got a lot of good stuff to get into. So let's get started with this couple right here. Let's see. Let's get started with that would be this couple here because we saw them. What did you guys think? We got finally this episode we did get an answer to Aaron's proposal. Were you surprised at all, El Cid? And what else did you think?
Oh, I was not surprised. Diamond came for a diamond, okay? Diamond came for a proposal. He said he came prepared to give a proposal, but I thought she was just overwhelmed with emotion, like I said last week. But yeah, she said yes. And say yes, even if it just means showing off my ring to the people in the house.
Okay, you think there's some people that would actually do that? They would say yes, just so the other ladies that at the house could be jealous and pea green with envy. You think somebody would do that? You think Diamond might do that?
I'm not sure what Diamond, but somebody might do that just to you also need a reason to claim the ring and keep it. So you got to say yes for that. But I don't know if that's her reasoning, but
Hmm.
The proposal, as I said before, the scenery was magnificent. It was absolutely beautiful.
Oh yes, yes, in the vineyards of California, absolutely,
They were both
absolutely agree.
in bed, they matched, and she was, well dressed to receive a proposal. Many ladies like to be, over the top and well dressed when they're being proposed to.
Yes, and to your point, they have a video memory of it. I mean, they can always pull this out. 10 years into the marriage, 20 years down the road, they can always pull out the footage because it was filmed in high technicolor for everybody, the whole world to see. So yeah, you're right about that. Any surprises for you, Jr.? Were you surprised that she finally said yes? She kind of dragged it out. It felt like a little bit.
No, I wasn't surprised that she said yes. I think I think she was surprised at the proposal, but
Okay, you think maybe
ultimately,
that was what it was? That she was surprised that he proposed to her so soon.
yeah, and
Mhm.
yeah, she said yes, and I would have expected her to. I'd be more surprised if she said no. Um, um, I don't think it landed the way with the other couples that she and Aaron may have thought. I think Diamond probably would have been a bit more concerned with that, because the other couples weren't really interested, particularly Shay and all that. They, you know, they weren't really envious, jealous. They didn't really congratulate them. Everyone was just minding their business. And I think Diamond probably expected a bit more support or fanfare
Yeah.
because it's a milestone when someone proposes to you, right? It's still a very significant moment.
Very, very significant. And it would have been nice if but you're right. But you know what was interesting? Not so much in the house, but did you guys catch this? That her sister, her own sister, had it was very lackluster over the phone. Did you catch that, Elsie?
Oh heck yeah, it was very lackluster. And she saw that Aaron was sitting next to her, so she kind of put the phone down. It seemed to look at the ceiling because her eyes probably rolled to the top of her head, like, okay, congratulations. And what do you want? I'm being polite. I'm not cussing him out. So, congratulations. I can't be happy for you. My thing is, I want to know, what does her, sister Irene think about when Diamond said that she would give her up for Aaron H. Now that's what I want to know from
Oh,
Irene.
oh, okay. Good point. Good point. Good point. Yeah, I remember that. She did say that. Jr. What were your thoughts about the lackluster response from people?
Yeah. So as well as the lackluster response from the other couples, someone
Yes.
who he wanted to support her, through thick and thin because they're sisters, supposedly. She didn't even get the support there as well. Um, and I'm not surprised at the sister's reaction because she hates their relationship. She hates Aaron. Um, and she doesn't, I don't think she respects their relationship enough to even be happy for them, regardless of whether she likes Aaron or not. So I wasn't surprised. The thing that did surprise me is that Diamond, I don't think she called her daughter first, like immediately when that happened. Um,
Mm. Oh yeah. Well, her
yeah,
daughter was. She seemed to be happy about it.
exactly. So I thought to myself, that would be the first person that you would call your daughter, who you're so close with, who just who met Aaron and seemed to like him or whatever. So,
Right.
um, but yeah, she chose to contact the sister, and then as we see as well, Aaron, when he contacted his daughter, she seemed more supportive, but again, the reception was underwhelming, right? Um,
Yeah.
yeah, the elder statesmen of the group, both of them, kind of got flat responses from everybody that's seen their relationship.
Right. Why do you think that was? Why do you think that was, JR? Especially
Uh,
from people within the house.
yeah, I think they ruffled some feathers. They were um, they were causing too many or involving themselves in other people's relationships to the point where it uh, got a petty response when good things happened to them, and they excused themselves from Greg's birthday. They did a few things that kind of caused a separation or division, and people weren't sad to see them go. People weren't happy for them when the proposal happened. They just kind of like, yeah, whatever. Not really. Mm.
LC, what you say? You're a mess. Why do you think that was, LC? Why do you think that the sister was so nonchalant about the whole thing with the engagement?
The sister was just trying not to make waves. Irene was like, I done already came and tore him up from the rooter to the tutor in that house. And let me just keep my voice quiet because you told me you just need me here for you. So I'm gonna be here for you with the handkerchief in my pocket for when you start crying.
Ooh, not when the tears come. Oh Lord, not for the tears.
There you go.
And in saying that, what did you think? Because then we see Aaron do a FaceTime with his daughter, and the daughter gets to slipping on the wrong name. Like, what in the world? What in the heavens is going on? What did you think about that?
The daughter gave up the playbook.
Yes, she did. She slipped up on the banana and gave up the playbook. And do you think that was intentional? Was that intentional?
I think it was intentional on the daughter's part. I think she blew his spot up and did it intentionally because her first draft pick is this Monica. Because she kept on saying the name. But, raise a child in the way they should go. Well, she was raised to tell daddy's business in front of her fiance. The lack of respect.
Some other blogger, I can't remember now who it is. Shout out to other bloggers. Some other blogger said Messi may actually have a DNA.
Exactly. And a nail color. Okay. So it just screamed to me like daughter knows daddy is a player and making sure that Diamond knows. It's like, don't get twisted. You may have a ring, but I'm gonna just guess. Maybe my mother had a ring and she still got played. Don't get it twisted.
Look at my moderator. Look what she says. Messy daddy, messy daughter. The messy D's.
Right. Because my thing is, he even admitted it in his confessional. Why would you do that? Even if the daughter said it, I would not have it recorded that I have a roster, I am a coach, and if she acts up, there'll be another starter. Who does that?
Only he and Chris. Because, I don't know if anybody else caught it, but guys, I had a flashback moment when Aaron H was doing that confessional about being a whole coach and everything. I said, man, if this don't remind me of Chris on the first day in the house, talking about all the women like him and he's so lovable and he don't have no girlfriends, but he gets around. I was like, oh, MG, this is a flashback moment.
The ladies who like me, if they can't get to me, they get to my mama and my kids.
Where they do that at?
They do that at the church picnic.
Oh, okay. You know what? I must be a different kind of woman because I ain't got it in me to do. If we ain't jiving directly, I'm not going through your family members. I ain't got it to do.
Well, you need mama's approval, so I might as well just go straight to mama so mama could put me in front of you.
at the age bracket that I'm in, most of us don't have no mama still alive on this
Understood.
earth. So I'm not worried about that. And it's so
Understood.
funny. It's so funny because I think back to something when I was a kid. My mother used to say that if my dad had had a mother that was alive when she met him, she would have never married him. And I was like, I would listen to her saying that, and I would think that is absolutely wild. But as I grew up, I think I get where she was coming from with that, because you got mother-in-laws, and then you got mother-in-laws from hell. Okay, you got mother-in-laws, and then you got mother-in-laws from hell. Because, and I think in our community, you got a lot of mothers, you got some mothers that have raised their sons where they want to be inserted into everything even after the son is married. So that might be the reason why she said that.
And maybe I have not had that the mother-in-law from hell experience. I actually had the mother-in-law from, heaven experience where she and I
Good.
were she and I were road
Yeah.
dogs together. We would disappear for the day together. So,
I remember you and we've had this conversation before. I remember you saying that. I think that's good. That's absolutely wonderful. That is absolutely wonderful. But there are a group of women that I've never experienced that. Um, I never married a daddy. I'm sorry, a mama's boy. I never married a mama's boy, but I think my mother, her first husband he was that. He was a mama's boy. And his mother was very messy and very much inserted into their marriage, which didn't work, obviously. And then she met a cool dude like my dad. And my dad didn't, his mother, unfortunately or fortunately for her, had passed away. And, and she said that was the only reason why well, I mean, not the only reason, but
but it was
part
a
of the reason.
factor. It was a major factor.
There. It was, and I get it. I from because I have people like friends like you that have had good relationships with the mother-in-laws, and then I've known people like my very best friend for over 30 years. Her marriage with her husband, it was very much the mother-in-law inserting herself where she had no business really inserting herself, and that caused a lot of problems between her and her husband. Because what do you do? Like that's his mother. What
But
do you do? And if he doesn't put his mother in check, you really can't put his mother in check.
you really shouldn't, but you could. Okay? We know how to be nice, nasty, in a genteel South.
Ooh, okay, Miss Wilson. Okay, so my mama ain't the only one. Miss Wilson say, yeah, she had one of those, but she's in heaven now.
This told me this told me
And I don't
Aaron
mean
H. Aaron H. don't have as much control and respect of his daughter as we would think.
yeah, I'm gonna tell you something. Here's the thing with kids. Once they are independent, you really don't have a lot of control. I feel like you really don't have a lot of control over them as parents. Um, and that's okay because for me as a parent, my job was to raise them up where they could take care of themselves and be self-sufficient and be productive members of society. And that's okay. That is actually okay. But yeah, I guess his daughter did kind of. But one thing I want to just finish up with before we move on to the next couple, I want to go back to this though, really, because this did kind of hurt my heart for Diamond, that her own sister was not in a celebratory mood and basically said, "Well, what do you want me to say?" Um, Elsie, can you speak to that at all? Did that bother you? Did it not bother you? Have you experienced that with girlfriends where they're not happy for you when you have something that you want to celebrate with them?
I've never had that. I do understand where Irene is coming from. I'm gonna tell you the congratulations you want to hear, but the tone is
Okay.
going to be you know, my true feelings. Because yeah, I'm
Okay.
congratulating you because this is what you want. But as your friend, I'm like, careful what you wish for. Careful what you wish for. I'm gonna be there. I'm gonna do what I have to do, but nothing more.
Okay. 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 All right. Thank you for that. JR, you have any thoughts on that real quick before we move on to the next couple?
Uh, well, I think it was petty on the daughter's part to name names and kind of dampen the mood of the celebration. But
Mm-hmm.
also, I think Aaron shot himself in the foot big time. All that talk about being a player, a coach, I have a roster, all this other stuff. I think, after the daughter made that comment, if you go back to those comments that he made,
Yeah.
yeah, he dug himself a huge hole. And Diamond, if she wasn't insecure before, she's definitely going to be insecure now. She seemed very taken aback by hearing about this particular lady, and he tried to even pass it off as, oh, listen, if this lady's trying to get to know my mom and my kids in order to try and get to me, then I can't help that. So yeah, he just dug himself. He put himself in a big problem. So I'm not sure how they bounce back from that.
Well,
But
let's
he
talk about that
didn't.
real quick,
Yeah, go ahead.
too. Let's talk. I'm sorry. Let's talk about that real quick. The fact that when they did the checkup on them, since we're doing couple by couple, we won't have to come back to them. The fact that when they checked in on them, apparently they had kind of had a little bit of a falling out.
Yeah, probably to do with that whole situation that could have contributed to that.
Mm-hmm.
Am I surprised that they're not together? Kind of, because I really thought that he was into her by the way he came across on the show for a majority of the episode. Only to
Right.
find out that the roster of women that he keeps around him, he actually will not drop them out for the girl he wants to be with, Diamond. So I'm not sure why that is, but that was very telling. So that means she's not the number one woman in his life like he professes to be. Because if it's okay to have platonic friends, you're supposed to have platonic friends. But to call them your roster, and that insinuates that there's something else there, like there's a physical or sexual component, and you are able to rotate them. You give one attention more than the other sometimes, and things happen. That's the kind of impression he gave off. So, but yeah, I think the fact that they weren't together during that time, that was quite surprising, and he caused that definitely more than she did.
Okay. All right. Okay. So, Elsie, what did you think too about the fact that they were no longer together before we move on to the next couple? What did you think about Diamond and Aaron had a falling out?
I believe that since they were causing chaos in the house, and they said that chaos was bringing them together. What happens when you can no longer cause chaos with others? You start causing chaos amongst yourselves.
Mm-hmm.
So the arguments that she said that they were having, I'm not surprised. And she should not be surprised at the roster, because now that we hear it, if we look back, we could see it's like a roster. He tried to propose to someone else. That didn't work out. Now he made her the starting lineup. He got a rotation.
Now, and yeah, I get this, guys. Thank you for adding in the chat. That is true, because I've been in contact with Aaron pretty much throughout this season, and I know that they're saying now, because you fast forward, they taped the 4 month after the show was over, but like we said earlier, they did not tape a 2 year after the fact, which is how long this has been sitting in the can waiting to come out. That nowadays they're back together and they're doing interviews, so that is very important. They are still together, Miss Wilson says, and are interviewing them. That is wonderful. I'll be there front and center. They're together, not yet married, but still together. Okay, so all right then, very good. Struggle Stream, yes, they're still together. All right, so to the next couple, that would be Shay and Josh. So Shay and Josh, well, what did I try to tell you, JR, about old Joshy Poo? Oh, Joshy Poo. Joshy Poo don't know. He cannot keep that thing. He cannot keep that thing in his pants. He cannot. He cannot. He looking at all the women. He checking them out. Um, Shay and Josh.
Mm. Yeah.
What do
Well,
you say, Jr.?
from what I saw on the show, particularly on the episode, it seems like when
Mm-hmm.
his friend passed away and a family member passed away around the same time, that's when they lost contact. Like he seemed to indicate that there wasn't the support while he had other things going on.
Okay.
And
Yeah, I
her
did hear.
response was
Yeah.
she reached out to him to say condolences, and he was like he expected more than that. So I didn't see the part where he said he was scoping, all the different girls around him and all that stuff. But he is dating again, and they hadn't spoken in quite some time. So that is a huge contrast, though, from how together they seemed during the episodes, right up until the end. I thought that they were going to make it. They both got matching tattoos and everything. That's quite a serious statement to make about the way you feel about someone. So
Well,
yeah,
yeah.
quite
And
surprised.
apparently she is ready to have hers removed. But my thing is, if he ain't standing there next to you, what difference does it make? Like at this point, if you willing to ink your body, like to me, that's a permanent move, right? So why are you backtracking on it now? And how
Yeah,
does that even look on black skin? I mean, not trying to be funny because our skin is different from Caucasian skin and it keloids and it does different things. So, like, how does that even look for a black person to have a tattoo removed? I just move on.
yeah, or better still, if you haven't been speaking in a while, the connection's finished, right? Then just go and remove it. You don't have to wait to speak to him again to tell him. Done.
Just say that, I mean, it's like, so a tattoo is permanent. A ring you can take off, you can give it back, you can throw it away, you can take it to the pawn shop, whatever. But a tattoo is permanent. So like what is the idea? That's the whole thing about a tattoo. You're supposed to have been a thinking person before you got it and realizing and recognizing that it's permanent. I mean, and it's not like it's his name, right? It was a symbol.
Yeah.
That symbol can mean whatever.
Yeah. And that's why he's not removing his one.
He's smart.
Seems like he's
He's
keeping
smart.
his.
He already knew when he got it anyway. He already knew what it was. I think it was uh, earlier we had a comment, and I put a star on this particular comment. Yes, Miss Wilson, to your point, everything Alexa said about Josh and Shay was 100% right. I do believe that. I do believe that, and I want to make an observation, guys. And you think about it, and then you tell me what you think. I could be totally out in left field, but here's the thing. You talked about it a lot during the season, Jr. For example, that these two were very lovey-dovey for the whole season that we saw them. Right, Josh and Shay, always in the boom boom room. In fact, I think the second name for the boom boom room was the Josh and Shay room. Right.
Right.
But if you stop to think about it, there's another way of looking at that. We know that sex can have different connotations for different people, particularly amongst gender. And for a lot of men, it may not be as serious as it is for a woman to lay down and be intimate. Okay. So the fact that just like his food that he was always digging into and eating and covering up like he was, straight out of the penitentiary. Okay. So to me, like the guy that's always taking you to the boom boom room and recognizing that there were like 6 other couples at the beginning and then it got, watered down to less. But like, what does that mean? That could mean that maybe he has a sex addiction. That doesn't mean that he's just so into you. I didn't take it that way. I really didn't.
Yeah, but
I really
I definitely didn't take it that way
I'm
because
sorry.
he weren't having sex with himself. So it's a mutual thing. They both went to the boom boom room together. She wasn't under any duress, as far as I saw. She was game. She was down for it. She enjoyed it.
True.
So
She was
I
down.
think the thing that separated this
hopefully she
couple.
enjoyed it for all 6
Nah,
minutes.
she enjoyed it.
Okay.
The thing that you have to realize is couples connected differently on the show, and Shay and Josh were the only couple that connected to the point where they were quite free and willing to take it to that level. The other couples, and most of them didn't work either, but they didn't go to the boom boom room at all, right?
Yeah.
Now the thing
True.
is, I don't know if I agree with Alexis's depiction of Shay and Josh, because like I said, they had a connection in some respects better than the other couples. But there were faker couples than them. There were couples like Jodie and Aaron J who definitely were not on the same page at any point. And even Alexis herself and her guy Dominique, they were not even together. They were never on the same page. So
Now that's the far other spectrum of like on a
it
spectrum.
involves the same person that's making the assumptions that the connections were fake. Listen, a lot of the connections
I
didn't
see
work.
what you bring up. Okay, gotcha. Because
Yeah,
you
the
brought up
connect-
Jody and Aaron. Okay, so I was just trying to make the connection. I see what you're saying about Alexis, right?
Yeah, like I'm not gonna take Alexis's words as serious because she lied to get on the show. Her relationship wasn't real, and there were other couples who didn't have any connection and ultimately didn't make it either. So I don't know if
Okay.
I buy that. But like I said,
Mhm.
the connection between Josh and Shay had the most physical intimacy out of all of them. So in my book, maybe I'm a guy and I'm seeing it from a male perspective, but that
You
still
are.
puts their connection ahead of some of the connections that didn't have any physical chemistry whatsoever.
Okay, very good. Let's get El Cid in here and see what she has to say. El Cid, what do you think about the Shay and Josh? How it ended up and how this whole this week's episode played out for Shay and Josh.
I see where JR is coming from, that they are physically connected. They took their relationship to the physical level, I guess, more than the other couples, but maybe that's as far as the relationship went between the sheets. Because
Mm.
yes, we know each other, we could win these games and we could do all of this, that a player could do the same thing, remember all your likes and dislikes. But it seems like you're caught up in the euphoria and the aftermath, and what are you really building?
That's what I'm saying. Thank you. That's what I was trying to say with the whole, just because we make love and that there we're compatible in that aspect, there's a whole myriad of aspects of a relationship that's going to be required to spend any long-term time together, because you're not already wasted or spent 12 years, but we know they were both doing their own thing, because look at Josh, he made a whole baby, right? So they were
Right.
out doing their own thing.
So do we believe this breakup? They broke up for 2 years over the child he had with his roommate.
Mm-hmm.
And now this has only been what, 4 months, because what, he was sleeping with somebody else who didn't produce a baby that we know of. So do I
No,
really
I
believe
thought.
it?
Okay. I thought on the show. Wait a minute. Let me see if I'm following you. I thought on the show, as it ended, when they did the catch up with them 4 months later, I thought that she said that she wasn't going to chase him, and then
Right.
his explanation was that his friend who had brought on the show, Warren, unfortunately had passed away suddenly, and then also that he had another death, and he
An
didn't feel
uncle.
supported. Okay, so let me just see if I'm following you correctly. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Right. So he didn't feel support from her, but there's only so much support and condolences you could do from far away. There's only so much you can do to be seen as supportive from far away. It's a long way from Tennessee to Florida. It's a long
Yes.
way. But my thing
Yes.
is, um, Shay, who got the gift card? What happened with the gift card?
Oh no, not the gift card, not the gift card shenanigans.
I,
Well, I thought she had it in her possession when we saw him on the show, but
I thought so
yeah,
too. So is her new apartment fully furnished, or is
you know
Mama's
you know
house fully furnished? What we doing? because Josh is at the hotel room. We can see that.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is.
Now, is his date in the bathroom waiting until he's done with the interview? What's up?
I'm telling you that Josh seems like a nice guy. I'm not taking anything away from Josh. Just so you know, Greg, before you come on, I'm not taking anything away from Josh, but Josh, who seems like a nice guy, also seems like he's also a transient type of guy.
Oh,
Just
nice
saying.
guy. Nice guys can have interesting behavior.
Yeah, interesting. Definitely interesting. Definitely interesting behavior. And I don't see him as being the guy that I would think I would want to settle down with. But you know, Shay and ladies out there, knock yourselves out. Knock yourselves out.
I just think Shay was a little bit, I don't know her personally, but it sounded what we saw a little bit naive because Josh does have 2 kids where he lives. So even when they were talking about moving to Texas, the dynamics of that, even we here were, like, how is that going to work with his
Right.
relationship with his kids and moving to a totally other different state? It would have been interesting.
It would have been. It would have been. And I'm going to step out on a limb and say there's 2 things can be true at the same time. I kind of felt like, not knowing them, again, this is just from what we see on the show, and also from what I know from my own personal experience, right? Which is not everybody's experience, but it's just mine alone. I felt like it was possible that Josh, what he was saying, there was some truth to it. And we see this, I think, quite a bit in our culture, in our community, that men don't feel supported by us women oftentimes when they go through a loss, a loss of job, a loss of a family member, loss of a close friend. They're not supported. Someone very close to a person has passed away, and you're calling and giving your condolences. I understand what you're saying, El Cid. There's only so much you can do, but maybe that would have been a good time for a trip. I notice people take all these trips to be on the gram, to be on vacation, but maybe that would have been a good time to make some time to take that savings money out, catch that flight, and come and be by your man, literally be by his side. You see what I'm saying?
But this is also a time for communication.
And communication, correct. Absolutely. I agree with you. And finding out which way would he feel best supported, because the way I'm saying may not be the way for him. It may be something else. But certainly when as I was watching this week, and she's saying, well, I'm not going to chase after someone, and then he's saying about these death losses that he's experiencing during this same 4 months, I'm thinking to myself, there's something, they're not connecting. They're not on the same page. So you're saying sexually we're on the same page, but see how it matters, JR, that emotionally, spiritually, that we be on the same page as well? Because these things are important.
Yeah.
If I lost somebody in my family or my close friend, and my man who's supposed to be my man, okay, and we're long distance, right? I'm going to need some support from him. And maybe I need to talk to him, like you said, El Cid, and communicate what it is I need, and vice versa. But if, as a woman, if my man, if he lost his family member, guess what? I'm going to get on a plane and I'm going to go be by his side. That's what I'm going to go do. Now, I don't know about anybody else, because if we're talking about building a future together, we can't build nothing together if we're not there supporting one another. I'm sorry. That's just how I see it.
You know what? You're 100% right, and I agree with both you and El Cid on this. He lost his best friend. We don't know if it's a best friend from childhood or whatever. I can't remember, but he lost someone very near and dear to him. Someone who actually came on the show to support him in a relationship with Shay, someone that she met. Right? So to then suddenly lose that person a little while later, of course he's going to be feeling it. But she was more wrapped up in, okay, well, he hasn't reached out to me, but I'm not going to chase him, so I'm going to sit here and I'm just going to cuss him and plot to remove the tattoo, rather than reach out to him in a way like you said, supportive. Listen, is there anything I can do to help? I know you may be feeling down at the moment at the loss of your best friend. Like, do you think we should meet up? Can I come to the funeral? Whatever the case may be, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's numerous things that she could have done rather than sit there with her arms folded and say, you know what, well, yeah, you deal with all of that, but you know, where's my attention? When are you going to show me that you're into me, type thing? And I don't think he appreciated that. So unfortunately, while that may be the case, like I said, I still think their physical chemistry is something to be celebrated, because it's still another form of chemistry. They've spent 12 years talking, and you know, even though they had a 2-year break or whatever it was, they spent a lot of time without being in each other's presence. There's been no physical interaction for at least a decade, right? So
Right.
of course, if you're into someone and you meet them and the physical chemistry is there isn't much left to talk about that you don't already know. That you spoke about everything. You basically been touching base with each other for 10 years. So the conversations wouldn't have been superficial. The other couples who've only known each other 6, 7 months, 9 months, you know, yeah, okay, you don't need to get physical because you hardly know each other. But 12 years, 10 years, that's more than enough time. There's only so much talking you can do. So
Right.
like I said, I'm not gonna knock their physical chemistry, but you are right. It doesn't mean that you're gonna have a long-lasting relationship. And if you're attaching having sex with someone or making love to someone as a precursor or a way to gauge whether you're gonna last or not, then that's gonna cause the end of your relationship as well. It's nothing to do with it. It's a part of your relationship. And if it isn't a regular part of your relationship or a naturally free flowing part of your relationship, then you're hindering your relationship by staying together. So
Mm.
there are different layers to relationships. Yes, you connect, you know, on the same talking points, the same chemistry in the way you see things and view things, and you know, support each other and all these other things. But again, when it comes to the physical, some couples made it and some didn't. That doesn't mean that their relationship was all about sexual activity between the two of them. I think the 10 years is long enough to have shown that that's not the case. You know, you don't just speak to someone for 10 years if you're just trying to knock the boots. That doesn't happen.
Okay. All right. Okay. Well, that says it all. Elsie, have you given all your thoughts on this couple as well? I
Oh
think
yeah.
Miss
Oh
Wilson
yeah.
makes a good point. And not to, just one second. Miss Wilson makes a good point, and this goes to what a lot of us are thinking also, is that there's a whole lot that Josh and Shay just aren't revealing. Do you agree with that statement, Elsie? And what else would you like to add before we move on?
Oh yeah, I do agree with that. I do agree. I don't know how Josh, or maybe even he doesn't know how he would prefer to have been supported by her, but it's certainly, if a kid didn't break them up before, how is this breaking them up now? Maybe it's because it's after they've met, but I don't know.
Maybe it's because after they've both been on TV. Mm. Did they mysteriously get back together for the show? Oop, oop, oop.
Yeah, could be.
Right. I got a call from production. Let's go.
Hey, remember that time when we said we were going to meet for those 12 years? We can do it now and somebody else is dying. You know,
Yeah,
because that's another thing I have to think. And I know we got to get moving forward because we got a special guest coming on in a few minutes. But I just want to say this real quick too, though, because if there was not a motivation to meet in 12 years, not 2, not 3, not 4, understanding that Shay was, I think, about 18 when they first started talking. And as a mother, I could totally get not wanting my 18-year-old daughter to go off meet some strange guy somewhere, right? But I mean, we're talking a decade later. Now she's almost 30 and she still hasn't done it. Yeah, this is giving not a real relationship, in my opinion.
yeah. None of them were real relationships until they had met each other and seen whether there's a physical chemistry as well, right? Otherwise, you're just digital pen pals. You're not gonna have a real meaningful serious relationship just from talking online. Nobody will.
Not digital pen pals.
Yeah, so
that's the next show. That's the next show.
Yeah. I had a bunch of pen pals when I was growing up. I mean, I wrote to people when I was still in high school, and they had went off to college. Friends that went off to the military. That was a big thing back in the day. Oh my God, actual pen and paper.
Right. But yeah, I mean, if they did use the opportunity that the show presented to meet, then yeah, like that seemed like a smart idea to do. You know, what better place to do it than a situation where you're both going to be brought together. You're not coming out your own pockets, and you get the opportunity to date and stay in the same place for a certain amount of time. Yeah, I'm not going to knock them for that either. I'm sure other couples did that too.
Oh yeah, that's what Miss Wilson is saying on that. She said most of the couples didn't make it, and maybe most of the couples weren't real couples either. So I don't know.
You won't
who
know
knows?
if you're real until you actually meet and spend time together.
Correct. Yes, I agree with that. Okay, with that being said, we got everything out the way with Shay and Josh, the Boom Boom Room pals. Next couple up. Let's talk about this couple. We need to explore this because we saw Jody and Aaron J. Well, LC, can you take the lead on this one? We know that Aaron did give her a diamond necklace finally, and as his show of affection, and then he had actually been working on his salsa dancing also, right? What did you think of his salsa dancing the second time around?
I'm wondering if the first time around, if he did get an instructor, what happened? Because, you know, shout out to Sandia. She did instruct him, so, you know, he could get it together. But since Aaron J is nervous, why would he do it in front of the entire house? Why would you present the gift? Why would you do the dancing in front of the entire house? I wouldn't have done that in Aaron J's place.
Interesting. You think it would have been more intimate and he would have been more not as nervous if they had been one-on-one?
No, it's not only that, but it's also you have no idea how Jody is going to react. And I wouldn't want her face, if she made that face like she did after the kiss, I wouldn't want that presented to everybody. I would just keep it private. But I think Aaron J knew it was coming. My hypothesis is that 2 couples already left, and production is like, hey, everybody else, y'all need to thug it out. I don't care what y'all have, as long as it don't get physical, thug it out till the end. Y'all could say y'all going in separate Volvos because they sponsored this, but y'all need to thug it out.
Thug it out. Oh my God. Thug it out. Oh my
Jody will understand that. You need to talk to Jody the way Jody understands.
You are so wrong. You are so damn wrong.
But Jody, I like that socks and slides combo that you had on when you broke up with Aaron J. I'm gonna need to know where we got those socks and slide combo.
Okay. Okay. You are wrong, LC. You are wrong on so many levels.
She's wrong. She wore his necklace while breaking up with him. She wore it in front of him. I'm gonna keep this necklace, but bye-bye.
Right. But you know, Jody is a sexologist now. So she know how to do them breakups. And things like that. And hey, that's all I can say. That's all I got for Jody. Help me out, JR. Help. SOS. Help me out. What were your thoughts about Jody and Aaron? And at least she finally did get it out her mouth that he was not the man for her. So
yeah, it took too long. Like this could have taken the first or second episode, right? She's been repulsed by him the whole time. I think what he tried to do is leave a lasting positive impression and not go out. I want to say like a punk, but not go out in a way which left the final thoughts from all the rest of the couples about the disappointments in their connection. So he tried to make amends by learning how to dance, then, you know, sending her off with some salsa moves and all that. Look, I can do it now. I'm doing it for you. I'm showing people in public. I've learned. I'm growing. You know, this is something you might like. I saw the way you dance with my dad. Maybe this might help me get closer to you. Gave her the necklace.
Quick
Very
question.
thoughtful gift. Look,
Yeah.
here's a gift to show how much I feel about you, this, that, the other. But yo, Aaron, you need to read the room. Millie was right. You're too naive, bro. She's never feeling you from the moment you got there. So despite your best efforts, it you know, it wasn't going to change anything. But yeah, she dragged it out. She said she didn't want to use him. She did. She basically took her sweet time in delivering the blow, even though she knew it was coming from very early.
Quick question. You mentioned the salsa dancing that his father did with this girl, or would be girl, if she could be, would be. Do you think the father was all the way right by asking her to salsa dance with him? And should he have, knowing his son as well as maybe a father should know his son? Do you think that the father should have not offered up the salsa dancing to Jody?
I don't know. I don't know if I don't even know if I feel any way about that, to be honest. Because she could have said no, she wasn't interested in it, but no, she was very happy and gleeful, like she very much enjoyed it, and probably too much in front of her man's face like that.
Yeah. Well, the father,
I mean, it could have just been a quick 2-step and done, but I think the pleasure she got from getting dipped and all that stuff, that was too much.
I think Aaron J's father knew the mood needed to be lightened up. Jody said she enjoyed dancing and stuff like that. I think the mood needed to be lifted and just have a fun time. I think that's where he was coming from. You know, not to show up his son or to show that if Aaron J can't dance, it ain't from my DNA. But I think he was just trying to, let's have a little fun, move a table, let's get this dancing going on.
Okay, yeah, I can see that. I can see that. I can see that. You're right, because I'm trying to remember what had happened besides Aaron H kind of going down the road of forewarning the father, Aaron's father, about Jody, and I'm trying to remember what else had went down, that the mood was kind of in a somber mood. But yeah, the dancing definitely did seem lighthearted. I agree with you on that. But did he need the dipper and all? You know, I mean, he was just too good with that salsa dancing. Like JR said, couldn't they have just did a 2-step and called it a day?
You can't 2-step salsa. You better, if you going all the way in salsa, showing your expertise, you better dip.
Okay, all right, my bad. I don't know much about salsa dancing.
Ain't no half stepping. Dip.
Ain't no half stepping with that salsa dancing. All right. Point taken. We're gonna slide and salsa and shimmy and shake over to our next couple, Mr. Chris and Miss Sandia, which surprisingly, apparently, was a couple that actually lasted for a while. Okay, Sandia and Chris. JR, you want to take this one? What do you think? Is it those good old Caribbean values, family values that are at work in this couple?
I think it's a very key component to their relationship, the fact that they have the cultural similarity. So I'm not surprised they stayed together either. They like each other. He may be repulsive in his views by the way some of the other people in the house or some of the viewers may feel about him, but Sandia has chosen her person for now anyway, right? And he
gets her MD
eyes for her during the show as well. So yeah, happy they're together. Why not?
Yeah, did you hear me? Till she gets her MD and then she's out of there.
Yeah, that could happen. She had her scrubs on during the interview, I think. So the catch up. So Yeah, I don't know. I think he will need to work on his ways, and he shows a willingness to do that. So that's a starting point.
Okay.
And they both seem like they are happy together. And the fact that they're together in the house, 4 months later, still doing their thing, man, at least they made it, and they managed to build a relationship off screen. Um, so
Oh,
kudos to them.
their family. She's met his mother. She's met his mother and family, and the family is definitely as they would be.
Right.
They're all in.
hmm And that's a serious thing. Like sometimes, to some people and family members is a signal of intent, how serious they want to take it, and how serious they take you into consideration as well. They're proudly showing you off in front of their family. It's a big deal. I'm from a Caribbean background, and it's huge. If I
Okay.
take you to meet my family, then that's big. That's massive, because it's not just the gesture, it's actually the fact that this is the person I take serious, and this is the person I'm considering to be a part of, my family now. That's who I want to build with.
Oh, okay.
So
Okay.
yeah, it's all good.
Okay. And as for you, Elsie, what are your thoughts?
I am happy that Sandia seems to be attaining her goal to be a nurse. Um, she had mentioned that in their last date. So it's good to see she's still going towards that goal. And for all intents and purposes, Chris is supporting her. He's got her back, literally hiding back there so they could act like he wasn't there. But it was nice to see them together. I do hope they are, um, working things out. That as the hostess said, he seems to be smiling more and open, and it seems like he's making strides. He's making positive strides.
He's making positive strides. That's true. That is so
I
true.
hope I hope I hope the friend Ben's ain't around them all the time, because that could be a whisper of influence you gotta watch for.
Oh yeah, Miss Wilson, that's right. Nurse practitioner, you are absolutely right. Because Chris, one thing he gonna do, he gonna give a girl a long time. He gonna give her 7, 8, 9, 10 years before he weds her. So she got plenty of time to get that nurse practitioner under her belt and make her move her exit strategy on out. Yep.
Or they can make a move and solidify.
Or solidify. That's right. That's right. Listen at me. Don't listen at me. Because moderator extraordinaire Monique King says, yes, I really like Sandia. You would, Monique, you would. I really like Sandia and Chris. I hope that he can remain faithful and the traditional ways that she doesn't seem to mind. Yeah, she doesn't. You're right about that. You're right. And do you think that maybe Elsie, do you think that he now believes that women make better decisions? What do you think?
I think he's learned that it's wise not to answer that question anymore.
Okay. Okay. All
Or
right. That
or
could
or,
be.
or they edit it out. We don't know, but it seems like he's like, I'm not touching that. I got burnt. I'm not touching that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's true. That is so true. It could be that too. Could be that too. I do like actually I do like that they did decide to stay together. And I what I really like about her is that she was demure enough to let allow him to squirm to kind of squirm in his concern about whether or not she was going to leave alone or not, right?
Right.
I think that that's a good thing because especially after some of the things that he had said about women, some of the things and some of the ways he had treated her, and it seemed to, at least from the edited version that we got, seemed to like almost ignore her to kind of pump Jody up at various points early on in the season. So I like the way she allowed him to squirm because I felt like he deserved that. That's what I felt. I really did. Right. Ari says, yeah, he knew better than to just say that. Very good point. So and then last but not least, we come to this couple. I know, I know, I know. I pray for you every night, Monique King. I pray for you every night. I know, I know. Monique is a mess. She is a straight up mess, but I love her. What can I do? What can I say? She's my moderator extraordinaire. What can I say? Um, and then last but not least, and then guys, this video actually, when we end, it's going to send you to the next stream, which is actually our interview with this gentleman. That's the gentleman in this couple, talking about Millie and Greg. So we won't be long on them because we're going to get Greg to talk a lot about what his experience was, and with Millie, and with the show, and with the other castmates. Um, so Jr. Were
Mhm.
you surprised that Millie and Greg ended up having a little bit of a argument, and they kind of fell away from one another?
Not surprised they had an argument. I think I saw that coming. Um, but I think them not being together 4 months later, that was kind of a surprise. I thought they liked each other a lot, and they probably still do, but they just have a few things to iron out, or their bust up was so major that they needed to just step away and cool down for a while before coming back to it. But he definitely seems like that it wasn't like a final blow. It wasn't like a never going back there situation again. And I wouldn't even call it spinning the block. It just seems like they're just, whatever happened, they're just taking some time out to recalibrate. But
Okay.
you know, I could tell that something was going to happen because of the way she lashes out when she does get mad. Um, that's not something that just happens out of nowhere. I think that's something that she does. And he seems like a cool dude from at least from the show, what I've
Mm-hmm.
seen. You know, he seems like a very well balanced, intelligent guy in touch with his emotions to the point where he can communicate his feelings effectively, and he doesn't fly off the handle easily either. So, um, yeah, hopefully it's just something that they can work through.
I hope so. I really do, because I actually saw a lot of chemistry between this couple. I like them. I my personal thoughts was that she could benefit from her own one-on-one therapy because of her past traumas, but that this could possibly work. I think that Greg seems like a really mature, fun, intelligent gentleman, and you don't get too many of those in this world. So, and he really actually liked her. I liked the fact that he brought his mother in to actually meet Millie. So I thought that was a big deal. Um, El Cid, jump in there. What were your thoughts about these two, about Millie and Greg?
It seems like, as I would say with any of the couples, and especially with them, it's the growing pains of the relationship. And by growing pains, I mean like you're in a bubble in that house and you
Mhm.
really haven't lived your regular life with this person. You know, you
Right.
haven't, I've said it before, you haven't seen them after a long day of work or a bad day, or, you know, you haven't seen them after, you know, they're in LA after like some real bad traffic and, you know, road rage. You know, you haven't gone through the many faces of your partner. So for me, it seems like it could be learning each other amongst their natural habitat. They're the one of the closest ones in proximity. They're only 30 minutes away. With their 4 month checkup, it more seemed like, you know, we're taking a break, but we're not over. And I'm hoping that, you know, as you said, if they, you know, get the help that they need, even some relationship help, they certainly can grow. Because they were one of my faves, but I was kind of, you know, side eyeing Millie's hot temper, especially when she breathes fire at Chris. You know, I was like, watch out, Greg. You better duck because she gonna breathe fire in your direction.
Right.
And how are you gonna handle that? I hope you a fireman, something
Right.
like that. But I'd still, I still would hold out hope for them. Greg said he has a plan. I hope that plan is still in place. But if it is not serving him, if the relationship is not bringing him peace, then he certainly has to make his decision either way, whether he's going to stay or not, or go back or not.
Yeah.
So we don't know the inner workings of their relationship. We don't know what's said and not said, or how they handle each other. But from what we see and what they let us see, it could be something good, but we don't know all aspects of it.
Right. That is so true. That is so true. I really, like I said again, I really like this couple. I think if Millie allowed herself to go with the flow with this relationship, if she really is serious about a partner that is in her age bracket. Now, Miss Wilson says here on the screen, she says that Millie seems to like men with deep pockets. I know that feeling too, Miss Wilson. And, I think sometimes as women, we have to decide, especially if you are beautiful like Millie is, you have to decide which route are you going to go? Are you going to try to go with the guy with the deep pockets, or are you going to try to go with someone that maybe you could really build more of an organic chemistry with, that maybe doesn't yet have deep pockets but is ready to start committing and being monogamous and being committed and serious about building a future with you, leading to marriage and children and all those good things? I think that's the decision that women that are good looking have to make, and women that are average looking have to make, because these days there's so many choices. I think one of the things that blows a lot of people away is that people fritter away their 20s and their 30s. They wake up one morning and they're 40, whether they be male or female, and they frittered away their youth and going from person to person because there's so many options. And then as you get into your 40s and 50s, there's less options. There's less options out there. What do you think? What do you think, El Cid? Have you seen that happen?
I have seen it happen. Your 20s is to learn who you are, your preferences, likes, dislikes. But in the meantime, while you're doing that, you got to still sow your mental seeds in figuring that out, figure out what you want, what you don't want, so that when you are in your 30s, you can certainly, start to reap the harvest of that. Um, I got married at like 24 out of college and stuff, but we were
Ooh.
together for a couple of years.
Mm-hmm.
Had our first kid and stuff like that,
Okay.
after we got married. But you still got to sow the seeds of, your likes and dislikes, but still remain open. Still remain open. But, as I said in the comments, who doesn't like a deep pocket? If I have the option of having a deep pocket or not, deep pocket come with a whole lot more options than a shower.
Yeah, deep pocket. Well, you know what?
But
What is it? There's a lot of options like deep pockets, older men with deep pockets and stable income.
here's the thing my grandfather always said: if they got a deep pocket, make sure that they don't have short arms. Okay.
I'm tired of you. I'm tired of you, El City. Your funnies. I'm tired of you. Mm-mm-mm. Anything you want to add? Did I cover you, JR, your thoughts about this couple? I think you did chime in. Okay. Okay, so we've got Greg waiting. He's in the studio, and we've got to get over to our other thumbnail. So, guys, this one will lead you. Here's the thing: those of you that are in it and are interested in Greg's interview with JR and myself, hang on, because this will redirect you over to the next one. So just hang on till the end and let it redirect you into that interview. And guys, come on over. Just come on over and join us, because we're going to be going live in about 2 minutes. Okay. Ms. Wilson, you in the interviews, you got to let us do our interview too. You got to come back and find out some stuff that you didn't hear in the last interview. And I did enjoy that one too, by the way. Shout out to Crystal XO. what is it, LC? What are you saying? You said gotta plant
Yes,
seeds in
definitely.
your
Mhm.
plant seeds in your youth for a harvest in your there you go. There you go. And I mean, especially as women, we got to be ready for that because again, we don't have the luxury that the men have of waiting until they're 40 and 50 to marry and have children. We don't normally have that luxury. So we gotta think about those things too. So with that being said, guys, you guys ready to shimmy and shake on out of here?
Yes, indeed.
Indeed. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's shimmy and shake. And I see you. Thank you guys so much for being here. As always, it's a pleasure. We do this for you. We do this because we love to recap and review and react to these videos. And guys, guess what? They got a season 2. Can you believe it? All right. Say bye, y'all.
Bye,
care.
y'all.
Thanks for tuning in.
Okay. Thank you. Bye now.
Okay, I'll leave this studio. I'll see y'all over there.